that we have here in the United States. We can always gain more people if our people see that we are doing something. If they see that we are actually doing something, like Mr. John Davis said, Dr. John Davis said about purchasing books, giving it to schools that are in Liberia, giving scholarships to qualified LCA COLOSUS members who have shown themselves to be exceptional in school. I'd like to tell you a little bit about our scholarship program. In Liberia, to go to the University of Liberia for 1 year, it's only $200. $200 can pay tuition for one Liberian student to go to the University of Liberia. Only 200 USD. Friends and family, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but it's mighty through God, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. The interesting thing about that passage is that in the original language, the Greek word that's used for imagination is a word that refers to the conclusions that one has created in his or her mind. Now, if you think about that, your imaginations that you have in your mind are the conclusions that you have created concerning a certain person, place, thing, what have you. So I'd like to ask you this. What are the conclusions that you have created in your mind concerning Liberia? Or how about this? Did you know that since 2006, Liberia has had the highest growth rate in the population across the whole world? Did you know that only 57.5% of the Liberian population can read and write? Only 57%. Were you aware that less than 1% of the Liberian population attends school after high school? Or did you know that just last year in 2010, the IMF deemed that Liberia's gross domestic product was the third lowest in the whole world? Third lowest in the whole world. Now, are these shocking statistics, or do we already have it concluded in our own minds that greatness is not to be expected from Liberia? No matter what the world may say, Liberia's smile believes that our country is great and that nothing less than the best should be accepted. So please pay attention as I go over our action plan for change. Liberia's Smile is a project of a 501c3 organization named Humane Resources, and this project will give scholarships to a representative of each of the 16 tribes of Liberia to go to a school that's in Liberia. Now, why a representative from each of the 16 tribes? Well, we all know that, among other things, the 14-year Civil War was based off of an elitist versus the oppressed, or haves versus the have-nots issue. Tribalism eventually played its role, and Liberia has even experienced the negative effects that result from bigotry and religious divides. So this is what Liberia's Smile plans to do. We plan to give an equal opportunity to each of the 16 tribes of Liberia to go to school that is in Liberia. That's regardless of religion, sex, political affiliation, skin tone, etc. To apply for a scholarship with Liberia's Smile, candidates must be a high school senior and they must be a Liberian citizen that lives in Liberia. They must fill out an application and write a 1 to 2 page essay detailing how they will exemplify any of the provisions that stated in Articles 5 through 8 of the active Liberian Constitution. Along with doing these things, candidates will be advised that they must make certain vows. They must be prepared to perform certain vows if they receive a scholarship from Liberia's Smile. They must vow to promote unity among the citizens of Liberia, regardless of tribal affiliation, religion, geographical location, financial status, etc. They must vow to become employed in Liberia in an occupation that serves for the betterment of the Liberian people. They must vow to work with excellence in that occupation for the purpose of improving the living conditions of the citizens of Liberia. They must also renounce bigotry, nepotism, unethical behavior, corruption, and abuse of power. Amen. After they receive a scholarship, the 16 scholarship recipients will become a part of Liberia's Smile Academic Honor Society. And this honor society will have monthly gatherings that include meetings that will bring them together in unity. Meetings that will help them understand each other's differences, I teach them vital lessons from history, equip them with skills such as leadership, conflict resolution, networking, debate, and effective communication skills, as well as peacekeeping. And also get them involved in community service, and this will be once a month. Liberian Smile strategy is to give an opportunity to those who feel as if they have no hope. It is to get young men and women to join together in unity and to be more knowledgeable and well-rounded in different areas and aspects of life, and to integrate the same into the workforce so that they can be able to improve the quality of life for their people, for our people. I'll conclude in just a second, but I'd like to say that I do appreciate Denver wanting an action plan for Colossus and for their LCA. I appreciate Oklahoma as well, and even Dallas has stood up and said there's something that needs to be done. We all said that we can't get members to come in for free, but I just know that if they know that we are doing something good, we all said that we want to make an impact. We all want to eventually go back home. If we're doing something good, people will join because they see it, and God will bring the increase. But I would like to conclude by explaining how we came up with the name Liberian Smile. I, believe it or not, had my first trip to Liberia just last year in 2010. And I was at my little brother's house, and we were outside just having a good time, talking with some friends. And I was taking pictures of us and his friends and the people in the neighborhood, and there's a well that's in front of his house. And it's my first time, so I'm taking pictures of the well and everything. People going to and from. There were kids that were going to and from the well from the time when the sun was hot to the time when the sun went down. From 3 o'clock until the time the sun went up, it was dark outside. But there was a little girl that was involved in all this. It looked like she couldn't be more than 4 years old. And it's in the program that you'll see tomorrow. You'll see this little girl's picture. But she was so precious that I had to take a picture of her. So I asked her, could I take a picture? She said, she came close to me. So I put the camera up so I could take a picture of her, but she just stood there and looked into the camera, just staring blankly. And so I said to the girl, I said, well, you can't smile? And then she gave me a little smirk, and then she walked away. And immediately after she walked away, my little brother walked to me, and please excuse me for saying this, but he cursed me out. He said, how can you say to the girl, but you can't smile, or why can't you smile? He said, look at the poverty that these kids are living in. Look at these little kids that have been walking back and forth all day just so they can get water for their household. These same kids, and statistics prove, drop out of school at the age of 11 years old so that they can be providers in their house. How can you say to the girl, but you can't smile? And when he had said that to me, I was speechless, and I couldn't say anything. But this I know, friends and family, that the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but they are mighty through God, to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down all negative conclusions that the world has created for Liberia. Liberia will be able to smile again, because Liberian Smile is drawing new conclusions. Friends and family, you all have the business cards. We all accepted donations. We need community service supplies, we need computers, we need transportation, and of course we need funds for the scholarships. If 27 people were to give $10 a month for 1 year, those 16 kids can go to school for 1 year. No questions asked. Please learn more about us, and we'll be at the celebration tomorrow so you can ask us any more questions. I'd like to open it up.